Think you know who runs the world? G7, the UN, maybe Beyoncé? But there's another group quietly reshaping the planet. BRICS. Today we're diving into BRICS Uncensored. 10 jaw-dropping facts and bold strategies behind this economic powerhouse. Forget the boring news. We're talking secret handshakes, bold moves, and how Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, plus new members, are building a new world order. I'll hit you with a mind-blowing fact right now and save the biggest shocker for the end. Let's get started. Here's your first shocker. BRICS has already overtaken the G7 in their share of global wealth. Not a prediction, this is reality. Based on purchasing power parity, BRICS now controls a bigger slice of the world's economic pie than the richest Western nations. The world's financial system quietly shifted, and most people didn't even notice. This isn't just about numbers. It's a fundamental shift in global power. Decisions about your wallet, your job, and the price of gas are now being made in Beijing, Moscow, and New Delhi, not just Washington or Brussels. The G7 was the heavyweight champ for decades. Now, BRICS is the new tag team in the ring, and they're winning rounds. This economic muscle lets them challenge the dollar, launch their own bank, and pull new countries into their orbit. So, when you hear BRICS, don't think of a secondary alliance. Think of it as the new economic center of gravity. The quiet revolution is already here, and it's just getting started. Where did BRICS come from? Not a secret lair, just a clever economist at Goldman Sachs. In 2001, Jim O'Neill grouped Brazil, Russia, India, and China as the future's economic giants and called them BRIC. It was just a catchy investment term, until the countries themselves decided to make it real. They saw the label, realized their collective power, and started talking. Their first summit, 2009, 8 years after the acronym was coined. Their goal, push back against Western-dominated institutions like the World Bank and IMF, and demand a bigger seat at the table. In 2010, South Africa joined, making it BRICS and giving the group a truly global reach. Adding an African nation wasn't just about economics, it was about representing the global South. Suddenly, BRICS wasn't just a club for big economies, it was a voice for developing nations everywhere. The world started paying attention. What began as a banker's acronym became a real-world alliance. And that's how a financial label turned into a global movement. Sometimes the name really does come first. BRICS isn't just 5 countries anymore, the guest list is exploding. In 2023, they invited Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. Most joined in 2024. This isn't just more seats at the table, it's a strategic earthquake. With Saudi Arabia, Iran, and the UAE, BRICS now controls a massive chunk of the world's oil. Over 40 nations want in. Why? Many feel left out by the current world order and see BRICS as a real alternative. It's the cool kids table, promising sovereignty and respect. Expansion brings historic rivals together like Saudi Arabia and Iran, forcing dialogue where there was only tension. BRICS is becoming a platform for resolving conflicts outside the Western framework. It's not just about economics anymore, it's a movement for the global South. As BRICS grows, its voice gets louder and its influence stronger. The world isn't just multipolar, it's getting crowded. And BRICS is leading the charge. The old guard is officially on notice. Now the big one, the US dollar. For decades, the dollar ruled global trade and finance, giving the US immense power. BRICS wants to change that. They're trading in their own currencies, bypassing the dollar. This is de-dollarization. China and Russia already trade mostly in yuan and rubles. India pays for oil in rupees. They're even exploring a BRICS payment system, and maybe a common currency. Imagine a BRICS buck for global trade. That would shake the financial world to its core. Why do this? Control. Moving away from the dollar shields them from US sanctions and gives them financial independence. Dethroning the dollar isn't easy. It's deeply embedded in the system. But every trade in yuan or rupees chips away at its dominance. BRICS is playing the long game, building an alternative step by step. If they succeed, it'll be the biggest financial shift in a century. The dollar's reign is under real threat, and the world is watching. Tired of Western-dominated banks, BRICS built their own, the New Development Bank, NDB. Launched in 2014, it's a direct competitor to the World Bank, with equal voting power for all founding members. No single country has a veto. The NDB lends in local currencies, helping members avoid dollar-related debt risks. It's a key part of their de-dollarization strategy. The bank funds sustainable infrastructure, think renewable energy and clean water, across member countries. It's already expanded. admitting new members like Bangladesh, Egypt, and the UAE. The NDB isn't just a symbol. It's a real growing institution. It's financing a new model of development, designed by and for the Global South. BRICS isn't asking for a seat at the table, they're building their own. BRICS summits look formal, but the real action happens behind closed doors. Unlike NATO or the G7, BRICS is built on consensus, not binding treaties. Every major decision requires all leaders to agree. Informal meetings and retreats are where leaders hash out differences and build personal relationships. Democracies and authoritarian states sit at the same table, finding common ground despite rivalries. India and China may clash on borders, but within BRICS, they cooperate against Western dominance. This ability to compartmentalize disagreements is a secret strength. They don't have to be best friends. Just agree that power should be more evenly distributed. That's what gets decided in those secret meetings. For decades, global trade rules favored the West. BRICS decided to build new roads. Trade among BRICS nations has exploded, with China now Brazil's top partner and Russia sending energy to India and China. It's not just about selling more. It's about creating supply chains independent of the West. China's Belt and Road Initiative, while not officially BRICS, aligns perfectly, building infrastructure that connects BRICS economies. When BRICS moves, global markets feel it. Their demand can set prices for commodities like oil and soybeans. Trading oil in yuan instead of dollars challenges the financial system. BRICS isn't just participating, they're becoming market makers. Now, a Brazilian aerospace firm competes with Boeing, and Indian tech rivals Silicon Valley. This new competition makes the global economy more complex and more unpredictable. BRICS is rewriting the rulebook, and the world is adjusting. Think tech innovation is just Silicon Valley? Think again. BRICS is rising fast. China leads in 5G, AI, and e-commerce. India's a software and space tech powerhouse. Russia excels in cybersecurity and aerospace. Brazil dominates agri-tech. South Africa is a fintech hub. BRICS members collaborate on tech, from joint satellites to AI standards. Their goal, a tech ecosystem independent of Western platforms. They've seen how tech controls can be used as political weapons. By building their own capabilities, they're shielding themselves from foreign pressure. The global tech race is now multipolar, and BRICS is a serious contender. BRICS isn't unstoppable, it's got real challenges. Internal rivalries, especially between India and China, run deep. Political differences are huge. Democracies and authoritarian states at one table. Russia's war in Ukraine complicates diplomacy for everyone. The West is pushing back, strengthening its own alliances. Critics say BRICS is more talk than action, lacking a formal charter or central secretariat. Can a group with so many contradictions really achieve its goals? The jury's still out. Here's the final shocker. By 2050, BRICS could be double the size of the G7. Imagine global summits in Beijing or New Delhi, trade in a BRICS currency, and international law set by the Global South. This isn't guaranteed. Internal rivalries and Western resistance are real threats. But BRICS has already changed the conversation, giving emerging nations a powerful voice. The world is no longer unipolar. Now, there's real competition of ideas, economies, and visions for the future. The question isn't if the world order will change, but how? And who will write the new rules? BRICS is holding the pen. The future is up for grabs, and the story is just beginning. There you have it, 10 facts and strategies that reveal how BRICS is building a new world. From surpassing the G7 to plotting a new financial system, this alliance is reshaping global power. The rise of BRICS affects everything, from gas prices to the tech in your pocket. Which fact surprised you most? Drop a comment below. For more deep dives, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching.